So here's Daisy again on high alert. She is making sure that nobody messes with Primetime Treasure headquarters. Anyone driving by would see this fearsome Shih Tzu face looking right out the window, and no one would even think of messing with her. Right, Daisy? That's right. Well, you go get him. You stay on high alert, and I'm going to go out and go find some more treasure. So you've got to guard all the other treasure we have, okay? I'll go get some more. Let's go find some more. All right. Bye, Daisy.
Hey everyone, it's Dominic the Primetime Treasure Hunter. Thanks for coming by to check out another video. It's about 8:25 in the morning on a Saturday. I'm about to embark on a treasure hunt. Hopefully we can find some good things for the reselling business to bring it back to Primetime Treasure headquarters. So we're going to go out right now. There's really no one specific place that I'm really set to go out towards today. It's really a big mixture and a big cluster of garage sales and estate sales that I hope to hit up. So we're just going to systematically go through yard sale treasure map and just keep knocking them off one by one. And hopefully by the end of the day, we have a lot of good treasures to show for it. Let's go out and see what we can find. All right, here's our first garage sale. And maybe there's some treasures on that driveway. The bags. 2 and 3. The camo one, the 31.
That's
$3, okay. Thanks. How much you got on the Caribbean Joe bag here?
This I should probably need to get 3.
Would you do 2 for $5 if I did the 31 on that one?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks. So a couple of good early pickups at that first sale. Hopefully that's a good indicator for the rest of the day. The first item that you saw me zero in on is this one right here, and there's really 3 main reasons for it. Number 1, it's back to school time, so there's a lot of people who are looking for bags. Number 2, it's a camouflage bag, and lots of people love camouflage items. And number 3, it's a pretty decent brand name. It's not spectacular, but it's not bad. It's 31. Now you may be wondering, how the heck do you know that that's a good brand name for bags? Well, if you come to my Facebook group, the Facebook Reselling Resource Center, the link to it is down below in the description section. You will see that I do a be on the lookout item of the day. And sometimes it's a specific item, but sometimes it's a brand. And the brand 31 is one of the brands that I featured as a be on the lookout brand of the day. You have to have brand awareness of things outside of your main interest area. As you know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I specialize in comic books, toys, and collectibles. I don't specialize in women's bags or women's accessories, but I want to make sure I know about them so that if I go to a garage sale and that's the prominent type of item that's featured, in fact, that's what was advertised for this garage sale on Craigslist, that there was going to be a lot of women's items. So I was hoping that there would be a brand I would recognize that I could pick up. And so that's how having that brand awareness could make you get a pickup at a sale like that versus walking away because you just don't know enough about it. So this helped me zero in on this in terms of having that brand awareness. So that's one thing I would highly suggest. This bag goes for about $25 to $30 routinely, even pre-owned. So right now the cheapest you can find available is about $28. So picking it up for $2.50 is really a good pickup. Keep in mind that a lot of these smaller to medium-sized bags will ship first class because it will go for £1 or less. Now the other item that I picked up is not one that I had heard of before in terms of the brand, but when I saw that it was new with tags, and plus it was nice and colorful, it had some, leather looking, I don't know if this is real leather or if it's fake leather or whatever, but it's new with tags. It had a Caribbean name to it, Caribbean Joe. I looked up the brand on the spot, especially when I saw that it had this $50 tag on it. And what I saw is that new with tags, this brand could go for about as high as like $40. Now, it didn't have this exact bag in the comps, but that's okay. As long as you could find that the brand sells pretty reliably, new with tags, for example, if that's what you have, then you could go off of that, especially if you have a tag here that says $50 and you're only going to get it for $2.50. And that's another thing. That bag originally was $3. This one here was $3. couple those together for $5 every time. If the price is $6 or the price is $7, see if they'll do 2 for whatever, 2 for $5, you know, kind of just try to bring it down just a little bit. They'll almost always do that. So we're going to head off to the next sale and hopefully we'll have some more luck. How much are these? Is someone doing pricing on these? These are DVDs, not video games. Usually video games are like, I mean DVDs are usually like $1.
Super Mario X Super Mario. These are DVDs, huh?
Yeah, it's a TV show. It's not. They're not video games. Yeah.
I don't. Let's see. I'll have to ask.
Well, how many you got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Including this one also?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 7. We're about $5 for the set.
I think that's probably fair.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks. See now, speaking of bags, this would have been one that I would have picked up if it was like $1 or so, but the cheapest it goes for right now online is $17, so it's just not worth it for $5 or anything really close to that. So you have to be careful, and that's why you have to check the comps. So while we did not pick up the Super Mario bag, I did pick up, as you saw, the Super Mario TV show DVDs. Now, just to give you a frame of reference in terms of comps for these, 18 of these recently sold for $55, so I picked up 7 of them, but I have another bunch of them at Primetime Treasure headquarters that I haven't listed yet that I'm going to combine with these. So that combo of that lot with this lot will really make a nice sale. I already made my money back on the other set with the DVDs because I picked up a bunch of Mario plushes and a bag and a whole bunch of other Mario related items with that. So, you know, that's the reason when I saw these, I jumped on them because I knew I could do a combo like that. So always look to do those combos. If you have something that you haven't listed yet, be on the lookout for more of it because then you could combine it like that. How on earth is this the line to get into a church rummage sale? Well, I'm gonna head in there. So I figured out the reason why they had that long line. They were just transitioning from the normal rummage sale prices to a bag sale where they were handing out bags. So fill a bag for $3, but problem is, I don't know what was there before I got there, but there was just nothing good worth picking up. But on the outside of the sale, right underneath those white tents that you saw by the line, I looked there before I left and I was able to pick up something good. And I've never shown this before on one of my haul videos, so it's a new neat item to be on the lookout for. It's these flippers here. Now, they look disgusting, right? They have all this like dirt and dust and these like white streaks on them, and you're like, who the heck's gonna buy that? But Scuba flippers do sell. You just have to clean them up and you have to look past this surface dirt and dust and stuff. Like this white stuff right here, that wipes right off. That is just most likely salt residue. You know, all this stuff right here is just surface. So if all you got to do is take a paper towel, wet it, wipe it down. These things are going to look good as new. These Scuba flippers like this, they sell for like $30 or so. So I picked them up for $2. I think you can see the sticker right there. So $2, that's not bad. And, you know, should be just a nice $30 sale. So that's what I'm hoping for with these. Clean them up a little bit later and hopefully get them listed pretty soon. So if you're out sourcing all day, you're gonna get hungry at some point. And yes, you could pack stuff ahead of time, but a lot of people forget to do that or just rushing out and they just didn't have a chance. So you're gonna stop off somewhere. Now maybe you get a bag of chips or something, but sometimes you wanna stop off and get something like more of a traditional lunch. I like to keep expenses down. So at that church sale, they had half a chicken for $7 and a whole chicken for $10. That was just too much and too elaborate. You know, it'd take too much time to pick apart the barbecue chicken by my hand. So better option, and I'm not paid to do this at all, but I stopped by Arby's. I already had one of these. These things are good and they're cheap. $1.49, a better chicken option if you want something that's going to keep you going, something hot. They've got these, it's called small bites, big flavor. They've got these little, they're on the little Hawaiian rolls. Nice little size piece of chicken here, barbecue chicken. These are delicious. Already ate one. Again, only $1.49. They've got like a ham sandwich one too. Really, really good. Highly suggest it.
I will totally take a free Pink Panther doll. This thing is huge. I can't believe it's free. There's nothing wrong with it. Wow. That's amazing. Awesome.
So I could hardly believe it when I saw this giant Pink Panther sitting there in that free box. Now this thing is really big. I mean, it is, as you can see here, he's 28 inches now. The tail does bend. There's a wire inside and all these elements bend. There's nothing wrong with it. I thought there was going to be something broke or something ripped or something like that. But Pink Panther's in great shape here. So I checked comps. The company that makes this is called Mercury. And there was a 44-inch version of this that sold for what looks like around $100 recently. Now, the 28-inch version, which is what this is, someone tried to sell that recently for $50 and it didn't sell. So I've got to, when I get back to Primetime Treasure headquarters, I got to try to figure out why that was the case. You know, was there a defect in the item? Was there something wrong with the seller's feedback? I'm not sure. Did he price it too high? Well, we'll have to see, but there's no risk involved because this is free. So this is why you always have to check those free boxes. Right, Pink Panther? He agrees.
So could we throw in the Godzilla with the $40 for everything? Okay, sounds good.
So it's funny, I'm in one of my favorite areas to source where everybody pretty much around here has comic books and collectibles and stuff. And so, you know, Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards are very common around here. If you've never heard of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, they're right there. These are a steal for $40. Almost all of these are filled. And not only that, they're in like mint condition. I'll show you an example. So if you look at these here, I mean, they are just all in excellent shape. I mean, you could see they're nice and shiny. There's no damage, there's no crinkles, there's nothing wrong with them at all. I mean, these are just in great shape. There's a particular card called a Charizard card that you want to look for that is typically worth the most money. So I'm gonna have to sort through all this stuff later. So I can't tell you what the actual value of this is right now. But I mean, we're at least dealing with hundreds of dollars worth of value with these cards. So especially when you consider that I have other lots of these cards at home that I could combine them with. So this is just a really, really great pickup for just $40. It's crazy. And how could I forget, but they also threw in Space Godzilla for me. Now, how do I know it's Space Godzilla? Well, the way you can identify that is these two prominent spikes sticking out of the shoulder. That's Space Godzilla every time. Another good thing about this and why I wanted them to throw this in with the deal for me is that it is made by Toho. Toho made the Godzilla movies, and so they licensed a bunch of these products. The Godzilla action figures sell really well. In fact, the cheapest that you could even find this one available in pre-owned state right now is $37. Yes, it has a little bit of paint loss on the top or color loss, but I still think that someone's going to buy it just because it's Space Godzilla and it's made by Toho. So this alone, depending on what it sells for, could pay for most of what I bought all those cards for. Absolutely crazy. That's why you should try to throw in these little deal sweeteners sometimes. It's a strategic way to sometimes almost get all your money back.
So this is a nice item here. I always look for these vintage sports jackets. Football's great, especially New York Giants. This is in terrific shape. The colors are still bright. It is a great size, extra large, and it's also a nice brand, Chalkline. I love to find if I can find Starter, but Chalkline is also pretty decent. I would not be surprised if I could maybe get like $40 out of this. It's $3, so not a bad pickup.
So this New York Giants jacket that you just saw me pick up, I was actually at an estate sale. It was not a big fancy estate sale run by a dealer or even a family. It was actually run by the woman who was selling the house. So that's always a little bit different at an estate sale. Usually you don't have the owners there. But anyway, this was the only item that was worth picking up, but a good pickup nonetheless for just $3. Hopefully I could get around $40, maybe even a little bit more out of this. So, and football season is coming, so this is a perfect time to get these things. So anyway, let's head back to Primetime Treasure headquarters. There's a couple of items that sold today that I want to show you, and we'll see what else happens throughout the day. Okay, everyone, so as you can see, I'm back here at Primetime Treasure headquarters. I've got Space Godzilla hanging out, getting acclimated to everything. He's super excited to be part of this video, and I'm going to show you a couple of updates on things right here. Number one, these are the Super Mario DVDs that I showed you earlier that I picked up for $5 at that garage sale. Now, the plan was to come back here and to check out and see the other Super Mario DVDs that I told you I purchased at another lot from another deal, and I was hoping that none of the other ones would be doubles. So I wanted to show you all of these again so you could see the covers, and then you'll see the lot that I have right here that I'm referring to, and none of these are doubles. So I really am fortunate about this, because now I could combine a total of now 15 of them together to make a really Super Mario lot. So I'm very excited about that. This one actually has multiple DVDs in there, and then there's one DVD that doesn't have a case with it. It's just free like that, but we could still advertise it as 15 DVDs and just mention that one doesn't have a case. And little problems like that, like a DVD not having a case or one item being damaged, you could pass those on like that when you do lots, because the person's just buying all of them and they'll take one damaged item or one item that doesn't have everything complete, as long as they're getting a lot of other good stuff that they find valuable. So that's the update on that one. I want to show you two things that sold today. Right here, you may remember this from a haul video about a month or so ago. I went to an estate sale and I picked this out. It was the only piece of clothing I picked out from the room. It's a University of Kentucky, nice vintage looking pull down sweat jacket. All right, I'm going to leave that in as a blooper. That was my son who was referring to me as Super Dad in a silly voice to let me know that the pizza is here. My daughter was cracking up that he interrupted me while I was making a video. So it was pretty funny. So I got to get up there to get that pizza. But a couple quick things I just want to tell you. So about this item right here, I was saying it has a nice vintage look to it. But the most important thing you need to know about is that this is the University of Kentucky if you don't watch sports. So University of Kentucky is one of the best men's college basketball team year after year. They're very consistent with that. Sometimes they're the best team. They've won national championships. Their colors are really cool in terms of the blue and white and sometimes the gray in there. So a lot of people like to wear that, sport it around, and show off that they're Kentucky fans. And so, this stuff will sell all over the country. So when I saw this, saw the vintage look, had a pretty good feeling it would sell. So it sold today for $22.50 after picking it up for just a couple of bucks. So look out for University of Kentucky stuff. The other thing that I sold is something that I showed you last week. I showed you that I was prepping it, which is this big, gigantic dictionary that you could see here. So this thing is over 3,000 pages. It's a Webster's dictionary. I told you that these sell routinely for about $50 for at least for the second editions. The first editions could sell for over $100 if you wind up getting one of those. I've sold two just like this before for $50. It's not even in perfect condition. There are some pages in there that are ripped. There's some that actually have some tape on it. I mean, over 99% of them are in great shape, but there are some defects on it, like there's a little bit of fading on that bottom marbling part. So there's some things that had to be disclosed. But one of the people who was inquiring about this item earlier this week wanted to know if there were pictures of the editors in here. And so I said, yes, there are. There's a couple of pictures of the editors. Now, I'm not too sure why someone would be interested in that, but I let them know about that. There's 4 total pages, 2 front and back. Took the pictures, put one of them up there as an example, put it in the description, and then the person offered me $40 when I had it up for $49.99. So now, like I said, I know it sells for $50, so I'm willing to meet the person in the middle, willing to make a deal. So I said, all right, meet you in the middle, $44.99. Person declines it. So this is where you just have to be confident and you have to know the market value of the item. And so I just said to myself, okay, well, I'm just going to wait till someone comes along and either makes another offer or buys it for 50. And so today sold for $50, invested 25 cents into it at a church rummage sale. So just showing you some updates, some progress. Going to go grab some pizza and we'll see what else happens today. All right, everyone, I got one final interesting update that I want to pass on to you. It has to do with those swim flippers that I showed you earlier. If you remember at the time that I picked them up, they were a little bit dusty, a little bit dirty. I said, you got to be able to look past that. We'll bring it back to Primetime Treasure headquarters. We'll clean them up. We'll make them look as good as new, and then we'll list them and hopefully, make the sale. Well, I brought them back, ran them under the water, cleaned the dust off, no problem. Then there were those little white strips on the top of the flipper. At the time, I said it looked like saltwater residue. That came off, no problem either. Then, once everything dried, I saw that under the dust, we had this white, milky residue on here. That is not saltwater residue. That is a process called blooming. Blooming is when there's an internal lubricant that basically comes to the surface over time as the rubber ages, and it leaves this white residue here. So some people call it bloom, and that is really not going to come off with just a rag and water and stuff. You could go out and you could purchase degreasers and deep cleaners and stuff to try to get this out, but then you're using like a lot of chemicals and stuff, and you have to pay for another product. But you could do this and clean this just as easily with another simple natural product that you have around your house, and that is vegetable oil. So I'm going to show you what you got to do. It's very, very easy. You're just going to take a paper towel, you're going to take your vegetable oil, and you're just going to, pour it like this, and you're just going to get a little bit of it, just a, nice circular dab of it right on the paper towel. And then what we're going to do is we are just going to wipe this back and forth and just go like this. Just put a little bit of elbow grease in there. And here we go. And you will see, I already have one side that's nice and dry already, so you can see what it looks like when it's dry. But it really does a good job of getting this out. So here you go right here. And you can see also, since it's oil, it really makes it nice and shiny. Okay, I did another one of the flippers here. This one's been dry for about 10 minutes or so. So this one really looks pretty good. So, I'm just gonna do that right here to the front of it. So you could see we've got some right here. So I'm gonna do another little area there so you can see that. And then I'll just do the rest afterwards. So it goes pretty quick, but it's something important to know about if you're gonna buy rubber products. I just didn't see it at the time because, I was really focusing on the dust, but we're just gonna, again, wipe this up and down, and this should just come right off here. Just gonna, again, go like this, and it looks like this is just wiping off pretty easily, as I said. And again, the cool thing about these is that they're gonna look nice and shiny when they're done. So you know what? I'm just gonna clean the rest of these off, and then I'll show you the final shiny, clean version of it. Okay, well, here's the final version. Nice and shiny, back to black, no more white residue. It is all cleaned off. Very, very easy. Just use that vegetable oil. I mean, you could use olive oil, I guess, but it's just more expensive, so just use the vegetable oil. So that's like my little Mr. Wizard's World episode, if anyone ever watched that when they were younger. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, give it a big like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. Make sure you pass it on to other people. We're getting closer to 7,000 subscribers. So I'd love for you to be part of it, and people that you know too, friends, family, that sort of thing. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. That's @prime_time_treasure. And the link to the Facebook group is down below. So hope to see you there as well. And I'll see you all at the next video. Take care.